There we
Ano
go. Hello, hello! Magandang buhay na imbagabigat aldaw kang gabi awan labas na. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from now. Today, we want to talk about something that truly changed our lives. Our topic is from local mindset to global vision. What if the biggest thing holding you back is not your location, but your mindset? I didn't always think big. I grew up believing that
I
my
grow up
opportunity
believing
were
that
only
my
as big as
opportunity
what
were
I
only
could see around
big
me.
as I could see
But
around me.
before we dive in
Before
into this topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, me first, my name is Alvina, a wife, an educator by profession, a proud Ilocano from Isabela, Philippines, now living here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Together with my husband, we are building our business part time while still working full time. And we are so excited to welcome you here in our live episodes. The Word Works Online. Thank you for being here today and take it away, Sis Rana.
Maayong buntag sa tanan, maayong gabi, maayong udto. Ako di ay si Rona. I am originally from Siquijor, Philippines, now living here in Maine, USA. I am a mom, a wife, a healthcare worker, and also a proud digital business owner. Over to you, Sis Nandini.
सो सॉरी। नमस्ते, मैं नंदिनी हूँ, मैं इंडिया में रहती हूँ और मैं एक डिजिटल बिजनेस ओनर हूँ। I'm a proud digital business owner from India. Over to you, William.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mbuluvinaka. My name is William. I live here in Fiji with my parents. I work full time in finance admin. So a skateboarder and a musician. And while working full time, I run this online business on the much. Over to you, Sis Dorcas.
All right. Michichi amunyina mini anum Ghana for amutie me. My name is Dorcas.
My name is Lucas.
I'm a mom of two amazing kids. I'm originally from Ghana. I've been living here in Australia for the past 6 years. I'm a proud digital business owner. Thank you. There you go. So, coming from Philippines, working in Hong Kong, then moved here in Canada, where I work different jobs. So, as a nanny, healthcare assistant, and working in a fast food restaurant, and just doing my best to survive and support my life. As you know, and for a long time, I thought this is it. Working hard. This is what so far as life can go. So I was so busy every single day, working full time, and then running part time this business and trying to balance everything. But deep inside, I knew I wanted more time, more freedom, and more purpose. But the biggest thing I holding me back was not the location. It was my mindset. I believe that opportunity were limited to where I was. I believe success was for other people only, somewhere else in the world. Everything started to change when I was introduced in entrepreneurship. For the first time, I realized I'm not limited to one place. I can learn from mentor across the world. I can connect with people from different countries. Like here, I have in front of me, like Sis Rona from USA, Sis Dorcas from Australia, and Sis Nandini from India, and Fiji, of course, right? So you can see how wide we are. So I can build something bigger than just my location environment. That's when my mindset shifted from local to global. And when that happened, everything changed. My vision got bigger, my belief got stronger, and in my responsibilities become endless. Now, I see the opportunities everywhere. Now, I know I can create impact, not just for myself, but for other who feel stuck like I once did. So, if you are watching this right now and you feel limited, I want to ask yourself this question: what if it your location holding you back, but the way you see it? Because the moment you start thinking globally, you start opening doors you never thought were possible. Your world become bigger when your mindset does. And maybe this is your time to shift your mindset. So that's it for me.
All right, thank you so much. I didn't always think this big. I came from a big family, 12 of us. Yeah, we are a family of 12. And growing up, I watched my parents do everything they could just to provide for us. They work hard, they sacrifice, they give everything they had for our future. And even now in the retirement years, they're still working, and that part, it stayed with me. Because as a daughter, you start to ask yourself, when does it become my turn to give back? When do I get to be the one who says, you can finally rest? But back then, my mindset was small. I thought that the only way to succeed was to work harder, take more shifts, push through exhaustion, just keep going. Because that's what I saw growing up. Hard work meant survival. But deep inside, I knew something wasn't adding up. Because no matter how hard I worked, I was still trading time for money, still missing moments, still feeling like I was running, but not really getting ahead. Then I became a mom, and everything changed. Because now I wasn't just thinking about surviving anymore. I was thinking about legacy, about time, about freedom, about being present. I didn't want my child to grow up watching me the same way I watched my parents, constantly working, constantly tired, always sacrificing. And that's when it hit me. Maybe it's not that we're not working hard enough. Maybe we've just have been taught to think too small. I was operating in a local mindset. I believing my opportunities were limited to where I live, what job I had, and how many hours I could give. But the world has already changed. There was a global space out there where people were creating income online, building businesses from their phones, connecting across countries, and designing life on their own terms. At first, I doubted myself. Can I really do this? Is this even possible for someone like me? But then I thought about my parents, everything they sacrificed, everything they gave. And I knew I had to at least try, not just for me, but for them. So I took a step, a small one, and then another, and then slowly my vision started to grow. From thinking about just getting through the week to thinking about building something long term, from focusing on bills to focusing on impact, from asking, how do I survive? To asking, how do I create freedom, not just for me, but for my family? And now I dream differently. I don't just think about what's possible where I am, I think about what's possible everywhere. Because when your vision becomes global, your life expands with it. So if you're listening right now and you feel stuck, if you're tired, if you're doing everything you can, but it still doesn't feel like enough, I want you to hear this. Your hard work is not the problem. You've just been exposed to a limited way of thinking. But the moment you allow yourself to see bigger, to believe that there's more out there, everything can change. And maybe, just maybe, you'll become the one in your family who changes the story. The one that says, it stops with me, it gets better from here. And that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rona and Alina. I come from a line of people who are employees. My grandfather was in the government, My mother was an educationist, she was a teacher. My father was an employee, he worked in Chia Tires, a tire company. I grew up and became a model, but in my mind, I always had an employee mindset. I did run, sell like design clothes, but locally. I never ever thought that I could be a boss of a business. It was something that I could not wrap my mind around it because according to me, I did not have the money to do it. Like I wasn't left a legacy. My parents weren't millionaires. How would I do it? Not that I didn't want to be wildly rich, not that I didn't want a fantastic and a comfortable and a luxurious lifestyle. I did. I always have. Some people say, no, 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 we're okay with just a roof over our heads. I did want more. I just didn't know how I could own a business. And it did trouble me that I was not going to be able to leave something that would be like a legacy for my children and legacy for generations to come. I did think a lot about it. When I watched my parents pay their bills and struggle to, throw a party at Christmas, my heart would break. When I watched my parents save their money to have a reception for me when I got married, I felt so bad. I didn't want them to do that. But I didn't have a choice. And so then, when this digital business, which was international, where I could leave as a legacy for my children, came along, I thought, wow, you know, here is something that I've always dreamt of, but thought it would never be possible. Wow, it was going to be possible. And that's why I joined. And my heart is so full because today I can say that I run an international digital business where I meet people from all over the world. And this international digital business is going to be my children's legacy. And I thank God every day for it. Thank you. Over to you, Dorcas. William.
Thank you very much, Sis Nandini. Um, so Sumi, ha- have you ever sat there and thought, oh, I'm doing okay. Like you have everything in your life is going well. It's going okay. You probably have a stable career. Um, you have a source of income, which is good. But then you feel like you're capable of more. Um, that's how I felt. And uh, having one job, having one source of income, and you know, life was stable. Nothing was really going wrong, but I knew that I was meant for more. Like this couldn't be the limit. So very similar to Sis Rona and Sis Nandini. I grew up watching my parents sacrifice long days. Um, they put us first every single time. And now I'm at that age where I look back and I can see they've they've done everything for us, and I can like it's very obvious that they've done enough. Like they've carried the weight for so long, and at this point, um, in my mind, I'm thinking, uh, how can I give back to them now? I've seen them sacrifice for um, I can say decades, and like it starts to make me think that now I should be the one who's able to give back to them, to lighten the weight on their shoulders. And um, I used to wonder how could I do that? How would I be able to do that? And for me, I slowly started to realize that the mindset that I was having was, oh, I do not know how I'll be able to do that. Just depending on, let's say, one source of income. Um, they've done a lot for me and my siblings. So I wanted to really give back in a way that was generous. And the mindset that I had before I started this business um, was not really, I guess I can say, uh, was not really a global one. But then one thing that I found about this business is that it it really pushes you to think outside of the box. And as you can see here, we are working together with other business owners all over the world across very different time zones. And yeah, it's really pushed me to think outside of the box and to really um it really had to push me outside of my comfort zone. Especially for us, the Pacific Islanders, it's not really a normal, or it's not a comfortable. Um, it's challenging to really put yourself out there, especially on the online space. That's one thing that I can say. And yeah, it's really made me step out of my comfort zone, step out of a local mindset, and really think bigger, think outside the box, think global, international. And yeah, that's what I've been able to really try and experience through this online business. And of course, had to give back to my parents who have raised me and my siblings up, and and to be able to really give back to them, especially at this point in time in my life where they're retiring, and I really want to see them enjoy their retirement. So if this is something that like resonates with your story, you want to give back, you feel like you're meant for more, you have a family that relies on you, maybe this is your sign. And feel free to take that first step, and step out of your comfort zone, the local mindset, a limited way of thinking, and go global. Yes. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
All righty. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Alvina, Rona, Nandini, and William, for sharing your story. We all have unique stories, but one thing that is clear in all the things that you shared is that we all wanted to give our family a better life, right? And as Rona said, maybe you are that one person in your family that could change your family's life. And I'm glad that I get to sit here and listen to all your unique stories, and knowing that you all started this business so you can give your families a better life. Growing up as the only girl among three boys, I believe that my life would only be as big as what I could see around me, my environment, my job. And even when I moved abroad, that mindset didn't change fully. Yes, I changed location, but I was still thinking small. I was still thinking, maybe this is my limit. This is all that's available to me. And I'll be honest, before my mindset changed completely, anytime I saw people working online, building businesses out there, helping others, I would always scroll past it because I didn't see myself in them. I thought, this is for people who are already, who already know what they are doing, people who have huge followings, people who went to some special marketing school. Those technical words they used to say online, always scared me. But what I didn't realize then was this, that those people didn't jump from A to Z. They actually started from A. Some of them had zero experience. Some had little or no technical skills. But guess what? They learned, they showed up, and they grew into it. And that realization changed everything for me, right? Instead of asking myself, can I really do what they are doing? Or instead of thinking that if I could be able to do what they are doing, I started asking myself differently. What if I could give myself a chance to be willing to learn from people who are already successful, people who are willing to share their knowledge so I can grow and be successful too? So that one question shifted everything in me, because I realized it's not about what I'm willing to learn and who I'm willing to become, right? Um, it's not about where I am, but it's about what I'm willing to learn and who I'm willing to become. So through this business, I started seeing people from different countries, from all of you that you are here, from different countries, different backgrounds, people just like me, building something beyond their location. And it made me realize the world is actually bigger than what I used to think. You can learn from anyone, connect with anyone, build something that goes beyond your environment, but it starts with your mind. So if you are watching us today and you've been seeing us talk about, building something from the comfort of your home, and just like me, you are scared, you are thinking maybe you don't have a huge following, maybe you don't have what it takes in you to build something successful out there. Guess what? There is more. There is more opportunities, more growth, more possibilities than you can ever imagine right now. But guess what? You have to be willing to give yourself a chance. Because the moment you change how you think, you change what you believe is possible. And once that changes, everything else starts to follow. So as I mentioned earlier, if you are a mom out there, or an individual out there, a working professional who have been seeing people talk about, starting a digital business from the comfort of your home, but you don't have a huge following, you don't have an experience. Of course, people say, I am not a social media person. Guess what? That is why we are here. We provide you with everything that you need to be successful in the digital space. We provide you with trainings, we provide you with mentorship. We are there to make sure that you are not doing this business alone, right? So if you have seen us online, you are interested in building something meaningful for yourself and your family, you can reach out to any of us that you see on your screen. We are going to have time for you to talk you through how you can do this as well. All right, that is it for me. We look forward to hearing from you soon. We look forward to seeing you on our next episode. All right, have a good night, have a beautiful morning wherever you are watching us from, and we will see you another time. Bye for now.